Let's get into some things of the things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be that, because I don't be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. You don't talk about y'all. Makes me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. Good morning, you guys. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody had a great week. I hope we did. First and foremost, let's get through the church announcements. We are on TikTok. So we are live on TikTok. So hey, Harlem girl, thank you so much. You sent me something over on Instagram last night. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we are on TikTok this morning. I haven't been on TikTok all week, I don't think. So we are on both devices. So if you're on TikTok, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are also live on YouTube. Yes, we are here for the early morning tribe meeting for two reasons. One, because I got a lot of stuff I'm trying to get you guys today. I'm trying to get caught up on my reviews, but there were things I wanted to talk about that happened in the news. So I'm going to do my tribe meeting. And then later on today, we're doing Beyond the Gates with JB. And I'm gonna try to get you guys a few other things before I have something to do tonight. I'm going out later, so I'm trying to get you guys as much stuff this morning. So I'm up. It was originally set for 10:30, but then I was already up and I already was ready to go. So I said, let me go ahead and get it out the way because Ebby is coming live with the Straight Man to do Chasing Dallas, and then El Teddy is doing Silly Saturday. So we got a lot going on today for you guys. All right. Let's get into it, honey. Let's get into the things. So, church announcements. My first church announcement next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. If you have a child that's in school, please consider. I know life times is hard, but please consider picking up a $5 gift card to Starbucks or a Visa gift card or just a thank you card. If you have a young child, you can have them make a card this weekend saying thank you to whoever their favorite teacher is. And listen, if they don't like one teacher, they have specials that they go to. Maybe they like their science teacher, maybe like their PE teacher, maybe they like their the band teacher, right? Whoever it is that they like. So yeah. And if they have, they're older like myself, they have multiple teachers as well in high school. So just think about it, you guys. You'd be surprised at how much a little bit goes a long way. You'd be surprised how much a little bit goes a long way. So anyway, good morning. All right. The other church announcement, same old. Baby, people are still booking this cruise. Y'all just do not understand that I am so shocked that you guys are so ready to get on this ship with me. And I'm so ready to spend a couple of days with you guys. We have 22 cabins booked. Baby, I didn't think we would get 5. We have 22 cabins booked, which means that we probably have close to 30 people going on this cruise. So I am excited. And for those that can't make it, I get it. Life is what it is. We will definitely do other things, especially since I see that this is something you guys will do. We will definitely do other things. We have the books and bourbon in October. So I will definitely be I told you guys I'm going to start working on the t-shirts and all that. I'll have all that information to you guys. Hopefully by the end of this month, I'll have the design for the t-shirts and I'll have all the information on how you can order your cruise t-shirt. And for the VIP package for books and bourbon, your t-shirt is included. So you'll be able to see the t-shirt that you're getting. As of right now, I only have 3 people who have I'm not going to say only. I have 3 people who have purchased the VIP package. Again, you do not have to. We're going to still have a good time. We're going to still do our thing. If you didn't get the t-shirt and all that good stuff. Okay. All right. So those are our church announcements, I believe. Now let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about this morning. Let me get through the easy stuff. Ooh, that water tastes funny. You know what? That water tastes funny. Mm. I hope that water ain't bad. I hope that water's not bad. I got a whole case of this water. This literally is just the first bottle out of that case. It don't smell funny. It tastes funny though. Okay. If I get sick, y'all know it was the water. Is it expired? Ooh, that's a good question. I just bought this case though. I just bought this water like a week ago. Where's the expiration on it? I don't know where the expiration is on the water. Is this the expiration right here? No. Because if it's expired, I'm taking it back. I just bought this water. Oh, here it is right there. No, it doesn't expire for a long time. Nope, it's not expired. Okay. Not Dasani is expired at the time of creation because it's trash. You know what? I normally don't buy Dasani. I think it was on sale. I normally buy Deer Park or Aquafina. But I don't remember not liking Dasani though. I don't remember having a problem with Dasani. So I bought it. But it definitely tastes funny. I'm gonna come on slide on over here to this Aquafina, honey, because that Dasani definitely tastes funny. Okay. Dasani is gross. But again, I've never had a problem with it, but I definitely have a problem with that. So yeah, that might be going back because that baby. I know what you like, cuz I know your favorite water. You have cases and cases of it in your garage. But yeah, I think this is gonna go back because that I just bought it, and I don't know if I have my receipt, but I know I have it on my app because I order my groceries on the app, so I know I have it on the app that I bought it, and I just bought it like a week ago. All right, so let's get into it. Dasani is outside hose water. Well, listen, I grew up on outside hose water. We all drank outside hose water, baby. Wasn't nothing wrong with it when we was kids. But no, I'm joking. Yeah, Aquafina in Deer Park is normally what I drink. But like I said, I think it was probably on sale or something. I don't know. But I certainly won't make that mistake again. Actually, it's funny. I did go to Costco yesterday. I went yesterday after work, actually. And it wasn't really crowded. Somebody told me the best time to go to Costco is like between like 3 and 4 o'clock. Like that's when it's not, and it really was not bad at all. It was only like one person when I got in line. It was literally only one person in front of me in line. Like, and half the registers were closed. Like it literally, like whoever told me, I said whoever, I know who it was. My mama told me. The person, my mama, shout out to my mama who said the best time to go to Costco is between 3 and like I think she said like 3 or 5 o'clock. But it definitely, thank you. Thank you, Cub Star. But it definitely was great. Like I went straight to where I needed to go, picked up what I needed to pick up, got in line, and I probably was out of Costco 40 minutes tops. And that's because I did veer off and go into another section. I almost bought some stuff I didn't go in there to buy. That's the problem with Costco. You start seeing stuff. You're like, oh, I do need that. Oh, I do need that. But I put it back. Because I was like, no, you don't need it. That's not what you came in here for. Yeah, you go at the wrong time. Costco is a whole situation. But definitely, I went yesterday and I left after work. I went straight after work. So I was there between 3 and 4 because I get off work at 3. So I was there between 3 and 4. So, but anyway, moving right along. I don't really have a whole lot on this story. I literally just saw this right before I went live because I was scrolling through TikTok looking for something. I just need to say this. I need to make a public service announcement to everybody. People on TikTok, people on YouTube. I need to make a public service announcement. Can we please take a vow? I need everybody to raise their right hand. Raise your right hand, and I need everybody to take a vow that we will stop arguing with dumb people. Can we please make that vow? Please. Because I was looking at the clips from Joe Budden's podcast with that guy Ish arguing with Mark Lamont Hill. Can we please stop arguing with dumb people? And I know that might be a mean thing to say. Somebody might say, oh, that's mean. Why are you calling people dumb? Because it's dumb. This man is arguing with Dr. Mark Lamont Hill about the earth being flat. Why are we still having that conversation? Here's my thing. If you still believe in 2025 that the earth is flat, I'm going to let you live in your ignorance. I'm not arguing with you. I am not arguing that with you. If you believe that you can get on a ship and keep floating and at some point fall off the edge of the earth, go for it. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not. I can't. Because I'm sitting here listening to this man, and he is literally arguing with Mark Lamont Hill about the earth being flat. And I'm not saying that just because Lamont Hill has a bunch of degrees and stuff that makes him smarter, because having a degree does not dictate your knowledge. Trust and believe. I work with people. Listen, in order to be a teacher, you have to have a degree. And I work with some dumb people. I'm just going to be honest and tell you that. In my 20-something years of teaching, I have worked with some dumb people who have more degrees than me. So I understand that one does not equal the other. However, I think most of us would agree that Mark Lamont Hill is an intelligent man. I ain't saying a perfect man. I'm not saying he gets it all right every time, but a perfectly intelligent person. And I'm sitting here listening to him have tried to have an intelligent conversation with someone who is stuck on stupid. The internet has made all y'all think that y'all are smart. I'm just sorry, because you know how to spell a word, and sometimes you don't even spell the word right. The internet gives you suggestions and say, did you mean to say this? Because you really said that, but is this what you mean? And you say yes, and then they give you all these articles. I saw something, one of the TikTokers I was looking at said, the minute you ask somebody what their sources are and they say YouTube, that's the end of the conversation. And even though I do YouTube, I'm going to say I agree. Now, are there some really legitimate YouTube sources that like channels dedicated to history and stuff like that? Absolutely. But that ain't where he went. He didn't go to that side of YouTube. He was on the conspiracy theory side of YouTube. That's where he was. Because I need y'all to understand that they have been dispelling this theory for thousands of years, not hundreds. COVID. I'm not arguing with nobody about COVID. I'm not. This man is still arguing about COVID. COVID happened. Listen. Contrary to popular belief, y'all want me to tell y'all a secret? And I know I'm not talking to none of y'all because y'all do know. I'm not talking to none of y'all because y'all understand. I'm talking to the other people who don't understand. Contrary to popular belief to these conspiracy theorists, COVID didn't start in 2020. Hence the name 19. COVID-19 means that there were 18 other variations of this virus prior to 2020. I know. That just blew somebody's mind. So for all the people that are like, oh, this isn't real, they just made it up, blah, 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 blah. COVID's been around for a very long time. It's just that version is the version that was, so deadly. So I'm not arguing with these people. China, listen, I'm not entertaining that either. I'm not entertaining China trying to flip it on I'm not entertaining none of that. None of it. So anyway, that was just a quick, I think I put that on the public service announcement, child. Because I was looking at that literally right before I went live, and I was like, right, it's on the Lysol can, people. Damn. Moving right along. All right, let's get into some of these other people because I can't. Okay. Shout out to Target because the boycott is clearly working. It's being reported that the CEO of Target had his pay cut by 45%. Now, 45% of his pay is still more than most of us will make in our lifetime. However, that means because his pay, a lot of his bonuses and stuff are based off of revenue. And so the fact that they cut his pay damn near in half tells you that the board is not happy and that they are feeling it. And now the CEO is feeling it because, baby, let me tell you something. Even if you make $50 million a year, most people live based off of what they make. If you go from making $50 million a year to $35 million a year, you gonna feel it. You gonna feel it in your lifestyle. Most people ain't making $50 million a year and living like they make 50,000. Like that's just not how most of us live. Most of us don't live that way. Hell, we get a $10 raise on our job and we start and we go get a new car. You know what I'm saying? So I am certain that man is feeling it in his bones. I'm certain. Again, I told you guys, boycotts are a marathon. They are not a sprint. Anybody that tries to tell y'all that you can make somebody feel some kind of pain in a one-day boycott. What up, Cruiser? Oh, oh shoot. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Sorry about that. My Invisalign, I had my rubber bands, and sometimes if I open my mouth too wide, and the rubber band, it'll pull. So sorry about that. It pulled my rubber band. What's up, Cruiser? Thank you for joining and becoming a member. And it is May 1st. We have to do some memberships. We have to give some memberships today. Give me a second. We'll do that in a few minutes. Girl, I got $1.50 raise and dance in the hallway. Right. Most of us live, we get a little raise and then we get happy. Like that's what most of us do. I heard Cruiser the other day talking, speaking of Cruiser, I heard her talking the other day on her channel. She was saying how her mentor, when she got hired at the job she's at now, her mentor told her every time you get a raise, increase your 401k and until you can max it out, until you max it out. My mother taught me whenever I get a raise, put that difference into my savings. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts over on TikTok. Thank you so much. Baby, if I listen to my mama, I could retire right now. My mama gave me some good advice. Now, giving me the good advice and doing it, that was two different things. But my mama gave me some good advice. But she told me that she didn't grow up on 401ks, but she said, when you get a raise, take that difference you see in your paycheck and put it in the bank. She said, because you've been living off of whatever your pay was, put that difference, even if it's only $20, $30, put it in the bank. Baby, if I had listened to her with that $20, $30 20 years ago, baby, I might be in a good situation. I mean, I wouldn't be able to retire off that $20, $30, but y'all know the point I'm making. Y'all know the point I'm making. Now, that is true, Cajun. That's valid. The cost of living rises, so that is valid. That is valid. So sometimes that $20, $30, something that went up $20, $30. Thank you so much for you guys over here on TikTok. Thank you. And thank you for the hearts. And thank you for the likes. We're already at 3,800 likes. Keep tapping that screen, please. We're trying to get to 10K. 10,000 likes. Thank y'all so much. I wish I had listened to Daddy when I was younger, baby. I wish I had listened. I ain't going to tell y'all no lies. My mama gave me some good advice. I ain't listening. No, that's why I'm still going to the plantation every morning, honey. That's why I'm still going to the plantation. I didn't tell y'all what I really wish I had done. I wish when I took a class on like I told y'all this before on like stock market for dummies. That wasn't what the class was called, but that was basically what it was. It was like introduction to the stock market. And one of the advice that it was run by this Black woman. And one of the things that she said was when you start buying stock, what you should do is buy stock and stuff that you buy. You know, I mean, obviously you can't afford that. You know, you don't want to. You may not be in a position to buy the most expensive stock. But I wish I had known that 20 years ago, baby, because I'd have bought stock in Amazon. I'd have bought stock in Netflix. Baby, I would be able to retire if I had bought just $100 worth of stock in Amazon when it first started, or Netflix. Baby, I definitely would be in a good position. Okay? Anyway, moving right along. Because we can't live in the past. We can't live in the past. I started buying Norwegian and stuff like that. Girl, age 60 and working for the community is exhausting. I know that's right, Chuck, but you do good work, baby. You do very good work. When I paid off my car, I kept that car note payment and an auto transfer to another savings account. That's, you know what? Now I did do that. When I paid off my car years ago, I did do that. I took my car note and I did put my car note up. I did do that. And I didn't do it the whole time. I'm not gonna lie. But what I should have done was taken that and invested it. What I did was I took that and I used that towards my next car. That's what I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have used it towards my next car. I should have used it and invested it. But again, we weren't, listen, that's not how we were raised. And that's no disrespect. That's no dig on our parents. They taught us the way they were taught, right? It's no dig on our parents, but people who grew up with money are taught how to make money off of money. We were taught how to save money. So yeah, that was a good thing that I did, but then I turned around and I spent it instead of just letting it sit somewhere and investing it. But that's not what we were taught, because we were taught how to save, because that's what they were taught how to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's no dig to our parents. That's no dig to our parents. Nobody sat down and talked to my mama about the stock market. People sat down and talked to my mama about saving money, you know? So, right. Ray said I wasn't either. I figured these things out on my own and with outside of the influences. Yeah, me and my friends when I started getting into the stock market, it's because me and my friends started getting like my friends. I tell you guys about my friend and her husband. I live up in Philadelphia. Like, we literally sat down and we started talking about it and doing our research and going, and we started doing that ourselves. And they're in a better financial situation than me. So we were buying stock. They might have been buying $100 worth of, they might have been buying 100 stocks in something, and I might have been buying 10 stocks in something, but we were doing something different. And we started talking about money. That's the other thing. People don't talk about, we don't talk about money, And so again, y'all always get me going left, child. It's left. Right, Jerry, listen, baby, listen, our grandparents bought savings bonds. And so our parents would say, baby, I still got a savings. Let me tell you something. My godmother bought me $100 savings bond when I graduated from college. Y'all do know how long ago that was. I graduated from college, right? I still got that savings bond. Every once in a while, I'll check what it's worth. I ain't cashed it in yet because but it's still I think I can't remember when it maxes out. But I check on it. I pull it up. I check how much it's worth. But that's what, in her mind, baby, she gave me that $100 savings bond, baby. She did something. I still have it sitting upstairs in my safe, in my my little safe situation. I had one since I was a child. It was like $100 when I was in my 20s. Yeah, it's definitely, listen, it ain't worth a lot. I mean, it's worth more than $100, but it ain't like I'm about to retire. But, that's how she was raised. That's what, Jerry, you know who I'm talking about, Aunt Janie. You know exactly who I'm talking about. My real life cousin is in here, and he knows exactly who I'm talking about. And she was my godmother when I graduated from college. That's what she bought me. She bought me $100 savings bond. But I also have family members who every payday they bought a $20 savings bond or a $25. every payday. It was just automatic, a part of that was an automatic thing. So Jonathan been working. I don't know where he is, but he been working. But anyway, y'all, let's get back to this. I don't know how we got off. We be getting off on this stuff all the time. Oh, we were talking about the Target CEO. So anyway, I got my oldest niece's 4 CDs for her graduation gift this month. She could take the money at different intervals. Now, CDs are a great long-term investment, especially for young people. CDs, I had a couple of CDs before, and I let them mature and stuff like that. My problem is, then you get the money and you do stupid shit. You know what I mean? Like, you be like, oh, I got this money, and you do stupid shit. Exactly, R&D. That's why I said we weren't taught that. We just weren't taught these things. And the first thing is we need to get comfortable talking about money. People aren't comfortable talking about money. Me and my friends, like I said, my friends I'm talking about, we've talked about money. They've made mistakes with money. I've made mistakes with money. We've been honest with each other about those mistakes. All of that. Like, I agree, Tracy. Jonathan better be somewhere figured out what to take Ebby for her birthday. All right, let's get into speaking of money again. Nike, Adidas, and I think they said all the top shoe companies have gone to the Trump administration begging them to drop this tariff thing. They have been begging them to drop this tariff thing because they're like, you're literally going to put us out of business because we're going to have to, well, let's be clear. Let's be honest. Now, there's 2 sides of looking at this story. We're going to look at the story from 2 sides. The first side, I'm going to just talk about the story itself. They are basically begging the United States to lift the tariffs because they're like, basically with the tariffs, you are going to, bankrupt us. You're going to put us in a situation where our products are going to be unaffordable. Now, the flip side, and this is where I don't have any sympathy for Nike and Adidas and all these other shoe companies. Let's call a thing a thing. You've been selling your sneakers for $200 that take $10 to make for 50 years. So honestly, I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for y'all because you don't have to charge what you charge for your product. However, because you have been charging that, now going back to what we were saying before about people live off of what they make. Because you have been charging that for so long, that is what your expenses are on that level. Your CEOs, your endorsement deals, like all of these things, that's where that money is now. Because you can afford to sell your sneakers for less than $200. Let's call a thing a thing. You do not have to sell your sneakers for $200, $250, $230. You just don't. I saw an article this morning that Nick Saban has asked the Orange Man to get involved with NIL. Probably because Nick Saban, that's why Nick Saban left college football, because he didn't know how to deal with athletes when they no longer needed him. NIL's changed the game. As someone who has enough sneakers and boots to last the rest of my good life, I'm happy they feeling this thing. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't really have a lot of sympathy for the Nikes of the world because I know that Nike has been getting away with child labor by having these factories in these other countries, and they've had kids working in these factories. They've been getting away with paying people pennies to the dollar and then coming over here and selling them same sneakers for $200 that took them might have cost them $20 to make. I was looking at a pair of sneakers the other day because I was looking for some shoes to wear for my outfit for the Boss Babes, and I clicked on the wrong shoe. Baby, I clicked on some Travis Scotts. Those shoes are $1,600. Now, again, if you're a millionaire and you're buying $1,600 sneakers, that ain't my business. But when you work a 9-to-5 job and you buying $1,600 sneakers, I have to look at you sideways. I got to look at you sideways. But anyway, but we'll see. At this point, though, I really think he's dug in, because at this point, all of the CEOs of these major brands have gone to him and said basically, hey, sir, can you back up off of that? Hey, to the people at TikTok, thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts and the hearts and all of the things. Where's my, okay. All right. Now let's get into Bravo before we get into the turkey leg hunt, Beyonce and Shannon Sharpe. Let's get into Bravo. So let's run down the Bravo. We got the trailer for Real Housewives of Miami this week. We have the mid-season trailer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta this week. And we have a little something on Potomac. So let's start with Potomac. Potomac has officially started filming their new season. I believe it's season 10 for Real Housewives of Potomac. And it looks like Stacey is in the hot seat. It looks like Stacey is back, and it looks like she is in the hot seat. We've got some footage of Giselle and Ashley confronting Stacey. Now, Giselle said on, I don't know, some podcast she was on, or Watch What Happens Live or something. It might have been Watch What Happens Live. I don't know when they started filming. I just know they're already filming. No, they just started filming. They didn't start filming in February. They just started filming last month. They probably filmed, well, no, they started filming last month. But Giselle said on Watch What Happens Live that TJ does have the receipts. And the reason why he never dropped the receipts is because he is still actively trying to get his money from Stacey. Giselle claims that she saw the receipts. Now, let me say this. If Stacey ain't paid you yet and you have the receipts, sir, you might as well go on and drop them, because you're not going to get your money now. After you done told it down to the good internet, what incentive does she have to pay you? At this point, if you got receipts, drop them. If you had the receipts, drop them. Page 6, I think it was. What happened on, hold on, let me scroll back up. What happened on page 6? Hold on, Yvette. Yvette said on page, what happened on page 6? Let me scroll up. What happened on page 6, Yvette? I can't find your comment, your original comment. Tell me what happened on page 6. I missed it. Type it, Giselle. Oh, it was on page 6. Okay. Yeah, I think, thank you. It was on page 6. Thank you. Yeah, I know I saw it somewhere. Now the rumor is that Candace is coming back. I have not heard any confirmation of that rumor. However, I would not be surprised. I know that they asked Candace and she said that she needed a little more time. You know, she wanted to spend a little more time with the baby and all the things that she had going on. But I would not be surprised to find out that Candace is coming back to the Real Housewives of Potomac this season. If she is coming back, I'm sure that she got a good little piece of change, because they need her. They need Candace. Karen's not there, regardless of how you feel about Karen. Karen's not there. They lost Mia. They lost Jacqueline. They lost KK. They lost Jazzy. And I know Jazzy hardly, filmed. I understand that she hardly filmed, but, they lost a lot in their Potomac cast. And so Candace, they need. Now, I know y'all tried to start that rumor that Monique was coming back. Monique is not coming back. I told y'all before. Some people, I know y'all don't believe when people say what they say and mean what they mean what they say when they say what they mean. But I believe that Monique absolutely means it when she says she's never coming back to this type of reality TV. Could I see Monique doing a Survivor style show? Yeah, because, she's into all that natural stuff now and going on hikes and all of that stuff. But yeah. Mia was a loss from the point of view of, even if people didn't like what Mia was talking about, she kept the blogs buzzing. She kept the blogs buzzing. So yeah, it was a loss from that perspective. Now I do think that after last season, going into this season, it would have been really, really rough on Mia, because last season would have been hard for her to recover from. I heard Kiki did not get a contract. Now, that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. I heard Kiki did not get a contract. I mean, honestly, Kiki didn't really bring us nothing either. I mean, the storyline with her and her boyfriend, nobody liked him. They're not even together anymore. So I liked her. Don't get me wrong. I did like her. And I loved what she has going on as far as being an entrepreneur, legitimate entrepreneur. But although I will say this, I do see where she is having a Mother's Day event. She's having a Mother's Day event. I didn't see where it was going to be filmed, but she has been advertising for this Mother's Day event at the Ruxton in Baltimore. But I did not see, usually if it's going to be a filmed event, they have to put on the flyer before people buy tickets that this will be a filmed event. I didn't see that on the advertisement. That doesn't mean that it wasn't or that it's not going to be. I'm sorry, Mother's Day hasn't happened yet. It doesn't mean that it won't be filmed, but I didn't see anything on there about that. So last I heard, she wasn't asked back. Jazzy's not coming back either. Yeah, Jazzy's not coming back either. So that's what so again, if they were able to get Candace to come back sooner than she wanted to, I promise you, Candace got a good little piece of pay. Candace got a good paycheck. Candace got a very good paycheck. But that's the rumor. I have not heard anything confirmed. That I do know people who are friends with Candace, like in real life friends with Candace. So I'm going to see if I can get them to, give me some information. Vivian could be a good addition. I know y'all are sick of me saying this, and I know y'all are tired of me saying this, but baby, the pickings are slim in the DC area. They just are. They're going to be hard pressed, and I'll keep saying this. And for anybody who is in the DC area that's listening, y'all always agree with me when I say this to people. They are going to be hard pressed to find upper middle class to wealthy Black folk who are native Washingtonians to take part of this show. I've said it. I have said it ad nauseum. People don't believe me. People think, well, it's in every city, and this happens in every city. I'm telling you, DC is different. The Black bourgeoisie down to the DC is different. It's just different. First of all, I keep telling y'all, you got a lot of people who work for the government who have to worry about clearance. They have to worry about their security clearance. They have to worry about, upward mobility, the perception. I wouldn't be mad if they get Oscar to come back. I did like her. She was a one and done, and I thought she deserved another season. I wouldn't mind seeing her come back. If you pay attention to the Real Housewives of Potomac, there has only been one native, upper middle class to rich member of the bourgeoisie that has been a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac cast, and that was Katie. And Katie was the black sheep. Katie was the black sheep of her family. You know what I'm saying? Katie was the wild child. Katie was the one that went against the grain. Katie was the one that stood up and didn't go along with the expected family traditions. That is who Katie was. And that is why they were able to get Katie. But if you look at every single person that has been on the Real Housewives of Potomac outside of Katie, none of them are native Washingtonians. The closest is Robin. And she's from Baltimore. Wendy, Baltimore. Giselle, Louisiana. She's from the South. Candace, Atlanta. Ashley, Virginia. Now, she grew up around here, but she's not part of the bourgeoisie. She's not part of the upper middle class. Candace is not native Washingtonian. Candace is from Atlanta. She went to Howard. That's how she got to DC. Right. That was part of why the Real Housewives of DC was a flop. Because, child, they wasn't about to get on there and act the fool. You had that one white couple, and they was just clout chasing. They were here for the shits. Old Money whispers, and Real Housewives of Potomac is loud and ghetto. You better say it again for the people in the back. I keep trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't believe me. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm telling y'all. So the pickings are slim. I know people that they have asked that have said no. Who's in Baltimore? I'm not in Baltimore. I'm in DC. Well, I grew up in DC. I live in Maryland now, but I grew up in DC. I'm a born and raised Washingtonian, baby. And trust me, I understand how the bourgeoisie moves in DC. I know people who want to be on Potomac and they haven't been chosen because, you know, for different reasons. I know people who have auditioned and haven't made it. And I know people who they won it and they were like, yeah, no, we're good. Urena has actually auditioned for Potomac. Urena has auditioned for Potomac, and so has Ashley. Both of them have auditioned for Potomac. Oop, did I spill that tea? Yeah, both of them have auditioned for Potomac. Yeah, Monique was from New Jersey. Monique wasn't from DC. Karen from Virginia, and she's from down in Virginia. She ain't from like Alexandria, Virginia. She's from down in Virginia. Hey, Papo. Yeah. So anyway, the pickings are slim. Now, this mid-season trailer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, baby, I'm here for the mid-season trailer for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, y'all know I don't fool with Bravo, so I'm not gonna play it. But baby, I am here for the mid-season trailer. We see where Britt and Kelly fell out. We see that we're gonna find out why they not friends anymore. We're gonna find out we're going to see the chink in the armor that is Portia and Shamia's relationship. Honestly, y'all, I think now that I'm seeing how this season is playing out, Portia is desperate for a storyline, and Shamia became collateral damage. Because Portia, the way Shamia has written hard for you over the years, there should be no question of her loyalty and love for you. None. There should be no question for your loyalty and love for her. None. And so anybody that has been able to come in and get you to question that, it's because you want to. Because I mean, I need to see it play out, but based off the trailer and based on what I know from behind the scenes, girl, you didn't have no reason to feel no kind of way about Shamia. None. And it'll be very interesting to see at the reunion when they're asked about it. It'll be very interesting. They're desperate to get Phaedra. Yeah, now that's the only thing I'm not looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to the whole Phaedra of it all. I just don't care. It works in Atlanta because most of them are wealthy and are new money and don't know how to act. Yeah. Listen, quiet as kept and loud as it is, baby, it's a lot of old black money in DC. And it is in Atlanta too. You'll see a lot of that old black money in Atlanta getting in them Atlanta streets. You just don't. You don't see there is very old black money in Atlanta. 3 or 4 generations of college graduates and doctors and stuff. Baby, it's old black money in Atlanta. Yeah, most of the Atlanta girls, that money is on a house of cards, child. Potomac too. A lot of the Potomac girls, that money is on a house of cards. Child, I need some of that old money too, honey. I need some of that old money too, honey. Now, the other thing we saw in that trailer is stuff going on with Charles. Can I say this? I hope like hell that hello. Good morning. Look who's among the living. What I do know is that's the other church announcement. Remind me, I do have another church announcement, y'all. I really hope that they're not trying to do no storyline. First of all, I'm sick of the storylines that are always about the husband cheating. I'm just sick of it. Whether he's really cheating or not, I don't know. But I'm sick of it always being, if somebody's married, they can't be happily married. If somebody's married, it can't be that they that life is good and them and her and the husband, maybe they done been through some things, but they're in a good place now. Like, I really, really, really hate that. I feel like we complain about these housewives not being married, but the ones that come on the show and they're married, the first thing they do is go after their marriage. It's like, I need y'all to stop. And and you can see it. Like, it's like almost like it's a plan. You say, oh, they're on the show, and if they're happily married, then here we go. And it's on we can look at every franchise. Somebody's husband was always accused of cheating. And again, in some cases, was it true? Yes. In some cases, it was true. But I feel like we just need to stop. We need to just, y'all, let these people be married. Yeah, it's like a template. Yeah, Cajun. It is redundant. So it looks like they're going to be coming after Charles. Now, don't get me wrong. I did talk to y'all earlier about Charles allegedly having this, side baby. Now, I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it because my job is to talk about what happens on the show. Let's call a thing a thing before somebody put it in my comments and say, well, you talk about it. I talk about it because it's on the show. Because that's my job as a reviewer. I review what's on the show. What I am saying is I'm tired of it being part of the show. Do y'all understand? And I ain't talking to y'all. I'm talking to the people that's going to leave a comment in my chat after it's over saying, well, you talk about it. If you sick of it, why do you talk about it? That's who I'm talking to. I can agree with that. I'm here for the show that a lot of these people are in happy marriages. And that's why I said, I'm not saying that the husband wasn't guilty. Let's be clear. We know that there are times when the husband was guilty of sin. He was out there in them streets. But what I'm saying is I'm tired of it always being the storyline, because in some cases, y'all was just going to accuse somebody of cheating until they just went out and cheated. You know what I'm saying? Why should they be coming after Britt's husband? What did he do? What did Britt's husband do? I don't feel like he did anything wrong. Thank you, guys. We're almost at 10,000 likes. Keep tapping the screen, please, over on TikTok. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is the usual choice, especially for women that are married. And Lord, don't let you bring a boyfriend on the show. Lord, don't let you bring the boyfriend on the show, honey. They're going to find. And again, I get it. Unfortunately, this is what we've come to. Don was talking earlier about the problems he was having over in that other area. I ain't even going to get into it, but over them Love and Marriage Huntsville streets, and how people really, people take this shit and take it to another level. So I understand it that people get on the internet and they Google search and they do this and they do that, and it takes to boom, it goes to a whole nother level. But yeah, I really wish we would get back to the days of just watching the show with allegations of him attending sex parties. Well, I mean, who said that? In my Portia voice, who said that? Yeah, when it was fun. Some weird guys talking about Britt's husband being at sex parties. Oh, we did talk about that the other day. Child. But again, that's coming from, I told y'all when we talked about it, I don't trust it. Because if your business is being discreet and you went on Tasha K to tell it for $30, I can't believe what you. Now I can't believe nothing you saying. Now I don't have no faith in what you're telling me because now I'm side-eyeing you and your reasoning. But that's what he said. He said the man paid $30. He showed a cash app for $30 from 2 a.m. Hell, that could have been an Uber Eats. Chad, that could have been an Uber Eats experience. I got you, Xavier. I got you, baby. Thank y'all. Thank you to my moderators over on TikTok for holding it down. I appreciate y'all. I'm really trying to be a lot more conscious of turning to both cameras. I don't know how. What I need to do is set it up so I can bring my second device more in my eyesight. So I'm just looking at both places. I noticed that's what Kempire did. Kempire used to have to go back and forth, but I noticed now it's kind of streamlined. I understand Black Panther that's how much it was to get in, but that's why I said for $30. That's why I said that. I understand the $30 was to get in. Trust me, I have friends. I told y'all before I got friends. I know what it is. Although I will say for a single man, that is a cheap. Listen, we talked about this the other day. I'm not telling all my business. But what I do know is $30 is cheap for a single man to get into a sex party. Now that is very cheap. Now if it's a gay sex party and they want men anyway, then that's a more reasonable price. But for a single man to go to a sex party, $30 is cheap as hell. I'm telling you what I heard. Exactly, Angela. Exactly. Somebody could send you a cash app and it could be for anything. And just because it's 3:00 in the morning doesn't mean it was for anything nefarious. Because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and be like, damn, I forgot to send that person that money. And I just send it because I better send it now. I'm going to forget to do it tomorrow. So again, I understand why you brought it up, Xavier. Don't get me wrong. But I got a side eye. I just got a side eye. Y'all got this stranger in my house. I ain't seen this person. Pat ain't been in this house in 6 months. Right. Okay, I'm here for the show. The line will be wrapped around the corner. See, you know too. I'm here for the show. You know too. I see, you know. Right. It's going to going to a sex party is not illegal, but I think what the guy was alleging was that it was a gay party and that he was also making it seem like, I guess, that Britt didn't know. Britt might know and might not give a damn because I'm not buying the fact that they're happily married. And again, anyway, see, there I am talking about people's marriage. See how easy it is to start talking about people's marriage. There you go, Angela. Right. Or it could be an individual invite and that was the price. Yeah. It could be a lot of different things. So anyway, it's 200 people in the room on this early Saturday morning. Let's finish getting through it, child. So we also have the trailer for the Real Housewives of Miami. So listen, you guys know I do Miami. It is debuting on June. I think June the 11th, I think. I will be reviewing Miami. I think I'm going to confirm it with JB today when we do Beyond the Gates. I think we're going to do the panel for Miami. I think it's going to be myself, JB. I know Yarrell watches Potomac, and maybe Belle if she's available. You know, Belle is in school, and things got real hectic for her during Beverly Hills, so that's why she couldn't really join us for Beverly Hills. But I know she watches Miami, so I think we're going to do the panel as well. So I'm definitely here for Miami. Now, the trailer for Miami looked very interesting. We know that a big part of Larsa's storyline is going to be her breakup with Marcus. She said that Marcus was sending her threatening text messages towards the end of their relationship. And now that some other things have come out about Marcus, I'm sure she's going to speak on that, his alleged problems. And, we know he got arrested a few weeks ago. And so that's going to probably be the bulk of her storyline. Lisa, the bulk of her storyline is going to probably be this ongoing drama with Lenny and her new husband. I mean, her new boyfriend, whatever. Alexia is the story I want to see. The story I want to see is Alexia because, baby, I feel like she was side-swiped by Todd. I feel like she just did not see that coming. So I'm definitely here for that story about all of the what happened, how he told you, how that affected your son, what you're doing now, how, like, I'm here for Alexia. Now, I don't know how candid Alexia is going to be, but I'm definitely here to see that. I don't want to say that vulnerable because I don't want to see her in pain, but I'm definitely here for the story because I feel like Todd, I told y'all last season, if y'all watched my reviews last season, I told y'all that Todd, when they had to move out of that deluxe apartment in the Sky High, and Todd told her to find somewhere for them to live, and he didn't care where it was. He didn't want to see it. She was like, well, Todd, I found a couple of places. Do you want to? And he was like, I don't care where it is. That I trust you. I said, Todd don't plan on living there. I told y'all can go back and look at my reviews. I told y'all. I said, Todd don't plan on living there. Because who says that? Who says go find us a place to live and I don't care what it looked like. I don't care what part of the city it's in. This is your budget. Just don't spend more than this. I said, Todd ain't moving in there. Todd has no intention. Quiet as kept and loud as it is, I wouldn't be surprised to find out if Todd never moved out of that other apartment. I wouldn't be surprised to find out if he still lived in that deluxe apartment in the Sky High, and he pretended like they had to get out to get Alexia and her son out that apartment. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I wouldn't be surprised if Todd is still living there. He told her that the lease was up and they had to get up out of there. That's what he told her. I would not be surprised to find out if he never moved. But I told y'all last year, when he had her running around Miami looking for apartments and he couldn't even find time to go. I said, he's not living there. He's not going to that apartment. Or if he is going, he don't plan to stay there long. But I told y'all can go back and look at my reviews last year. I told y'all that. We did. Now we know that Dr. Nicole did not come back full time, but it looks like she did film because she was in the trailer. Now, y'all know how they do with these trailers. So, you know, she might have only been in one damn episode and they put her in the trailer. But Dr. Nicole is in the trailer, and it looks like the new girl that they added, which we already knew, the new girl used to date Dr. Nicole's fiance, boyfriend, baby daddy, whatever title. We know it ain't husband. And that's no shade because, you know, if they never want to get married, that ain't my business. But yeah, it was Adriana told. Yep, sure did. Todd told Adriana that life wasn't good. I knew things weren't good when Todd didn't film that first. Remember, Alexia had the first group scene at her apartment and Todd didn't film. Even before we found out Todd was downstairs. Remember when Todd didn't film? I knew then. I said, it's trouble in paradise right here. Because Todd didn't have no problem filming the season before that. He was all up in the camera. He ain't had no problem before that. But thank you. We got 10,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you. But we saw where Nicole is talking about how they done bought her husband's or boy, you know who it is, his ex-girlfriend on the show, and it looked like she got just as much money as he got. So we're gonna see, but we know that Nicole did not finish the season. And then it looks like Adriana and Julia fall out. I honestly don't care about their because their relationship was always weird to me anyway. So I don't really care about that happening. Then we found out, and then it looks like Gertie and Julia fell out. I don't care about that either. So, but it does look like it's going to be an interesting show, and we'll be reviewing it. So we're going to add that to the repertoire in the month of June. So that's my Bravo roundup. Also, Miami is so underrated, Donna. I told y'all before, the last 2 seasons of Miami were better than the last 2 seasons of Potomac. The last 2 seasons of Beverly Hills. Y'all sleeping on Miami. The ratings don't match. And I understand that part of it is because when they brought it back, it was only on Peacock. So a lot of people didn't go over to Peacock to watch it. But baby, y'all are sleeping on Miami. And when I say y'all, I mean the people who don't watch it. Y'all are sleeping on Miami. I'm telling y'all, Miami is good. The last 2 seasons of Miami were better than the last 2 seasons of Potomac. I'm going to even say Atlanta and Beverly Hills. Now, maybe not the last 2 seasons of New Jersey, because, baby, New Jersey has been, woo! But, baby, Miami is everything. Everything. So, anyway, we will be doing Miami. The other thing is, it looks like a lot of people are not feeling Miss Portia's return. A lot of people are upset. Yes, Nay. Hey, boo. I was thinking about you earlier this week. I said I need to give my Nay a call and check on her. Her and Benji up there. I know Benji is happy that the sun is coming out. I know he is out in that yard. Benji don't stay in the house when the sun is out. Hey, DC Kool-Aid, Lisa, what's going on, ladies? How y'all doing? Baby, people are really not feeling Portia after she said what she said down to the show talking about some Angela better leave her alone before she sleep with Charles. And I don't care, blame it on the Henny. What I tell y'all all the time, a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts. You meant what you said and you said what you meant. And the fact that that's your go-to, Portia, that if somebody is bothering you, your go-to is leave me alone before I sleep with your husband. We're not blaming it on the alcohol. No, ma'am. Talking about something, I was Henny drunk. I was drinking. No, ma'am. You meant that. You meant that. And a lot of people ain't feeling it, especially considering your history, Portia. You don't have that kind of leeway. DC Kool-Aid, you're a native Washingtonian. DC Kool-Aid is a native Washingtonian. You probably weren't in here earlier when I was talking about how the black upper class, rich bourgeoisie down here to DC is different, and how they would be hard pressed. They would be hard pressed to get a real member of black bourgeoisie society in DC to be on these reality shows. I know some of my other DC people already co-signed it, but I know DC Kool-Aid is a native Washingtonian. She know what it is. She know what it is around here. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Child, we've been here for an hour. Hold on. Which of these objects can be read? Lord have mercy. We've been here an hour already? My gosh. All right. Tried to sleep with Todd and Candy slept with Simon and she wants Charles. Lord have mercy. Right. See, DC Kool-Aid, she know. Cheryl says, see, yep. They would be hard pressed. Now, I mean, I never say never. Never's a strong word. I ain't never saying never, but we on season 10 of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And in 10 seasons, they've only had one. And I already told y'all, Katie really don't count because Katie does the opposite. Katie was already the rebel and the black sheep of the family. So Katie was okay with doing something that went against the grain. You know what I mean? Katie lived her life going against the expectation and going against the grain. So all right. All right. Thank you. We're up to 13,000 likes. Keep tapping that screen, please. You know we don't have a big crowd on TikTok, and I ain't been on TikTok live in a week. So thank you for those of you that are over here. Thank you to my mods that are over here. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Thank you. All right. Let's get into these last couple of stories. So listen, the turkey leg hut situation. Now, we touched on this turkey leg hut situation when the divorce was happening and how nasty the divorce got. But those of you who are not familiar with the whole turkey leg hut down to the Texas, the turkey leg hut was the place to be. Everybody went down to the turkey leg hut when they went to Dallas, Texas. Is it Dallas or is it Houston? Anyone down to the Texas. I think it's Houston. I know it's Houston. It is Houston. Never mind. It's Houston, Texas. the Turkey Leg Hut got national notoriety, right? They got nationwide notoriety, and and but we come to find out that all that, people, y'all got to stop looking at what's on the front and not know what's going on the back. Come to find out there was a lot of dysfunction, a lot of toxicity, a lot of abuse, verbal and physical, going on behind the scenes among the couple that ran the restaurant. He was verbally abusive to the staff. The culture was very toxic. Okay, it was very toxic. Okay, and the husband. Well, he's the former husband. I know they're going through a divorce. If not, baby, he was indicted last week. Now, I'm going to read y'all his indictment. And then we're going to get into the other accusations that were sent out this week. So, former Turkey Leg Hut owner indicted for arson. 42-year-old Houston man has been taken into custody on charges of conspiracy to commit arson of a commercial building and conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle, announced by the U.S. Attorney Nicholas Ganjay. Lynn Price, former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, who now owns the Oyster Hut, is set to make his initial appearance before the U.S. magistrate judge. Also in custody and set to appear are Armani Williams, 27, and John Lee Price, 39, both also of Houston. The indictment returned on April 8th and unsealed upon the arrest alleges Prince and others conspired to set fire to bar 5015. The charges allege that the owner of the bar was a former co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut and Price's business partner. In early June 12th of 2020, Price had allegedly recruited a group which included Williams, John Price, and others. The charges allege Williams, John Price, and others were involved in pouring gasoline at the entrance ramp before igniting fire at bar 5015. Lynn Price later provided payment to them according to the charges. Prior to the arson, the indictment alleges that April of 2020, Lynn also paid John Price and others to set fire to a stolen blue 1975 Chevy Nova. Baby, that's a collector's edition right there. That car was worth some change. Lynn Price and the others are charged with conspiracy to commit arson and face up to 20 years in prison, as well as a possible $250,000 maximum fine. Lynn Price and John Price are also charged with conspiracy to use an interstate facility to commit arson of a vehicle that could receive another 5 years as possible punishment upon conviction. The indictment remains sealed to those charged, but not yet in custody, which means that there's some more people they're looking for. There's some more people that they coming to get, allegedly. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me say that's what it sounds like. Let me not say that's what it means. That's what it sounds like, is that they coming to get some more people. Now, for those who have not seen, baby, they got a whole video of these people. You didn't know that man had video footage in his establishment. Now, they covered their faces, but some things you can't fake. Some things you can cover your face, but you can't fake it, right? You walk a certain way, you have a certain swagger in your walk, you have certain mannerisms, your hair. There are things that will give you away. Right, your body type, height, weight, complexion. I mean. And then yesterday, they added a little more to it. Let me give y'all a little bit more to this story. FBI is alleging that the former Turkey, I don't know why I can't say that word, Turkey Leg Hut owner sold drugs out of the restaurant. Let me read y'all this. This is from the news. After his arrest, former Turkey Leg Hut owner Lynn Price on arson charges related to the 2020 explosion of bar 5015, federal prosecutors on Thursday argued in court to keep him in custody pending trial, presenting evidence and additional allegations. He's facing 3 federal charges for allegedly masterminding. We just talked about that. But here's what they said down to the courthouse on Thursday. During Thursday's hearing, Price appeared handcuffed and shackled. Child, I don't care about all that. Let's get to the good stuff. An FBI agent testified about evidence linking Price to the 2020 explosion, security footage, yada, yada, yada. Child, I'm trying to get to the other stuff. We already talked about all of this. Prosecutors said that Lynn Price and Lee Price called each other just before and after the fire, the only overnight calls between them that month. He emphasized that Lynn Price was not at the scene and was not holding an ignition source. He also pointed out that the two alleged arsonists interviewed did not tell the FBI that Price paid them to set the fire. Now, that's his attorney saying he wasn't there. The defense argued that no other business owned by the same person had been targeted, questioning the motive. If Lynn Price was motivated to set the business on fire, why didn't he target the other businesses? Well, I think that's a good question, but I don't think it's a hard question to answer. Confessions that led to the indictments. In 2023, after being arrested on an unrelated federal drug trafficking charge, John Lee Price was interviewed by the FBI. Prosecutors said he confessed to his role in the explosion and implicated Price. Lee Price allegedly told investigators that Lynn Price directed him to recruit a crew for the arson and promised payment. Lee Price said he received 2 payments, the first of $1,000, and said he gave the crew $400. Armani Williams, a former Turkey Leg Hut employee, also reportedly confessed to involvement and told investigators he feared Lynn Price, noting his reputation and history of violence. Bar owner Steve Rogers told FBI agents his impression of what led to the fire. He said he had an idea to open up 50-50 and initially was going to bring Lynn Price in as a potential co-owner. He then decided he did not want to do business with Price or his wife due to lawsuits involving the restaurant. Rogers allegedly told investigators that Lynn Price tried to buy into the bar and came to him with a box full of cash. Yes, because that's how legitimate business people work. They just come to you with a shoebox full of cash and say, I want in. Okay. Oh, Lord. Rogers said he took the box back to him and returned the money. According to Rogers, Lynn Price called him sometime before the fire, yelling and hollering about him selling crawfish because they were using the same supplier. Rogers allegedly told investigators that Lynn Price viewed it as a conflict of interest. Rogers stated that he heard Lynn Price say he'd blow the place up if certain conditions were not met. Prosecutors also presented text messages from Lynn that he thought were threatening. Text messages between a former Turkey Leg Hut manager and Lynn Price were part of the presentation from prosecutors. And the former general manager said she was arguing with Lynn Price on text when he told her, I will come to your house and kill that dog. Stop playing with me, and I mean it. He's threatening to kill people's dogs now? There were multiple text messages of them arguing because she was trying to help him and tell him what to do, but he reportedly told her it's his restaurant and he knew what to do, the FBI agent testified. All right, they're going to how they met. I don't care. Now let's get into the alleged drug trafficking. Prosecutors allege the drug activity occurred at the Turkey Leg Hut from 2022 to 2023 upon Lee Price's Mississippi arrest. Lee Price told investigators that he received money from hydro marijuana being sold at the restaurant. He would reportedly travel to California and bring it back in trailers to store it at the Turkey Leg Hut facility because of 24-hour security. Lee Price reportedly picked up to 500 to 1,000 pounds of drugs being sold on multiple occasions. The FBI agent testified that the trailer would be parked in the back of the Turkey Leg Hut where 3 different types of marijuana were stored. Prosecutors said the Turkey Leg Hut had special packaging for the drugs, and after being sold, Lynn Price would collect the proceeds but share some of them with lead price for delivery. Baby, they was selling. Listen, that sound like a storyline out of Ghost, don't it? Ain't that what they doing down to Raising Canaan right now? Isn't that what they doing down to the Raising Canaan right now? Ain't that what they doing? You could go down to the Chinese restaurant and get your shrimp fried rice with extra sauce. Ain't that what they doing? Ciao. What up, JB? Hey, boo. Ciao. I mean, sir, the people went in and ordered them a turkey leg with special sauce, and they got a little baggie underneath their turkey leg. Moving right along. I wouldn't be surprised if things with Nakia will be added next. Yeah, I mean, she's made some accusations against him as well. I hope, because unfortunately they were married, and unfortunately, I hope her name is not on some paperwork that could get her hemmed up, I know she's actively, trying to untangle herself from him, but unfortunately, look at Erica Jane, child, while they were married, maybe she signed something. I hope that because the prosecutors are focusing on him, that whatever he might have roped her into, she's good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if her name, I wouldn't be surprised if her name get caught up in this either, at this point. All right, y'all. Now let's get to the Beyonce of it all. And then we got the Shannon Sharpe, and then we're going to do our gifted memberships for the month of May. Damn it. Okay. We're going to gift our memberships for the month of May. Do y'all want to do Shannon Sharpe first because y'all sick of Shannon Sharpe, and then do Beyonce last? What y'all want to do? Shannon first, Beyonce last, or Beyonce first and Shannon last? I'll let y'all tell me why I do the gifted memberships. I'm going to go ahead and gift the memberships now while y'all tell me what order y'all want to do these last two stories, okay? Let me know what order y'all want to do these last two stories while I gift these memberships. Y'all let me forget it was May. I ain't even gift no memberships yet. It's May the 3rd. We behind. Chef Don Don said that he think we can do 20,000 likes over on TikTok. Keep tapping that screen. Child, my computer moves so fast. It moves so slow. Thank you, Harlem Girl. Yes, thank you guys so much. Oh, I knew something else I meant to tell y'all too. I'm gonna go ahead and say it while y'all are doing that. Baby, they done canceled the Equalizer. Now, we talked about that earlier in the week. I think we talked about it earlier in the week about how I found it to be very interesting. Why I found it to be very interesting. That all of these black shows that have black executive producers got canceled right around the same time as allegedly they settled this lawsuit. And now the Equalizer have been canceled after 5 seasons. I find that to be very interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised to find out if the Equalizer gets picked up by another channel. Another network. I shouldn't say channel, another network. I wouldn't be surprised to see ABC pick it up or something like that. Y'all know they do that sometimes. One network will cancel the show and then another network will pick it up. They did like 9/11. I think is the most recent example. Fox canceled 9/11 and ABC picked it up. So congratulations. The memberships have been gifted. Congratulations to Vovo to love. I haven't seen Vovo in a while. Oh, I need to check on Vovo. But congratulations, Volvo, Josephine, Janae, Queen Capricorn, and Amber. Oh, that just made me think I have not seen Volvo in a while. I hope he's doing. I hope he's okay. Volvo used to be here every day. Oh, there he go. Look, now he done dropped down. Volvo, I have not seen you, boo. Oh, okay. Look, he done dropped down. I'm glad to see you, though. They canceled Queen Latifah's show. That's messed up. Yeah, that was just announced yesterday, I believe, that it was canceled. Mm-hmm. I think CBS is. I think they, I think they bent the knee to the Trump administration. So I know they better not come for Beyond the Gates. I loved The Equalizer. The Equalizer was a good show. I watched it. I watched all seasons. What's up, ma'am? Hey, boo. Yeah, I watched all seasons. No, they never said this was the last season. Yep, they canceled The Equalizer. Yep, sure did. Oh, baby, I can't wait to talk about Beyond the Gates. We're gonna be here at 1:00 Eastern Standard Time. So we about to round this up. All right, y'all want to do Shannon Sharpe first and then Beyonce? Okay, let's do Shannon Sharpe first. Because I think the only reason why we keep talking about Shannon Sharpe is because new information keeps coming out. Well, Shannon Sharpe's ex by the name of Michelle Evans did an interview, and we're going to read through the interview and read through what she said, honey. Now, I want to say this as well, you guys. I want to say this as well. Two things I forgot to tell y'all. Two things I want to tell y'all. One, the other church announcement is on Tuesday night at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Girl Is That Legal will be doing a legal roundup. We haven't done one in a long time. We used to do it all the time, you guys. But we will be doing a legal roundup where we will be discussing the turkey leg hut situation, Wendy Williams, Shannon Sharpe, of course, Portia. Simone did a really good video on Portia and her divorce situation and what's going on with her divorce. We're going to talk about that. I'm sure we're going to have something to talk about with Diddy because, as you guys know, his trial starts on Monday. Now, for those of you who understand how legal cases work, nobody's testifying on Monday or Tuesday. They're going to be picking their jury. They're going to be going through all of the motions and all of that kind of legal maneuvering. But the trial does start on Monday. So I am sure we are going to discuss some Diddy things. So y'all make sure y'all are here at 7:00 Tuesday Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. We're going to have ourselves a good time. Child, it's clear like it's more than one Michelle. Now, somebody else told me, before I get into this story, somebody else told me that allegedly, remember the other day when we talked about those two cases where Shannon got arrested in Atlanta for assault, that they've been expunged, but the son dug it up. Allegedly, somebody slid in my inbox. I don't know if it's true or not, so I'm gonna say allegedly. Allegedly, one of those women that he allegedly assaulted down to the Atlanta. Allegedly, one of those women is his baby mama. Now that's what somebody slid in my inbox and told me, that allegedly one of those women's is his baby mama. So that's interesting as well. Thank you, Cross Country Cruiser, for gifting 5 memberships. Please tell me who those people are. I can't get on my phone, and I already closed that tab on my computer. You think he had the first Michelle, and then he gets these women to use that name? Ooh, that would be it. Ooh, that would be interesting. Thank you, Cross Country Cruiser. And if you just got gifted a membership, please thank Cross Country Cruiser. I appreciate that. Opening statements are the 12th. Yeah. So don't expect a whole lot of action next week, but it does start. It does start next week. Thank you, Sharice, for that info. Now, let's read through this article, child. I opened up the wrong thing. Okay, let's read through this article. In an exclusive sit-down with the U.S. Sun, one of Sharpe's accusers, Michelle Bundy Evans, recounts the allegations she made in a bombshell SA lawsuit. All right. Trigger warning. She does get into graphic details about what she alleges happened between her and Shannon Sharpe. So just a trigger warning. Evans said that she dated the Denver Broncos star turned sportscaster for nearly a decade after she met him while working at a local TV sports reporter in 2002. We met in the press room at the Broncos in April of 2002, but we didn't start dating until we met at the club at Club Blue 67 in Denver. He started pursuing me pretty heavy, she said, of the second meeting in the fall of that year. I resisted for a while because I was a reporter and I didn't want to mix the two, but he's very charming. Evans claimed that she and the star were together for a number of years, and they had a relatively open relationship that wasn't without its bumps in the road, but everything came to a crashing halt in 2010. Evans, who was dating the man who later became her husband and living in Atlanta near the NFL star at that point, said Sharpe was pressuring her to leave her boyfriend, but she claimed the football star wasn't being faithful. Right, okay? We had an argument about the fact that he had removed one girl from his Atlanta house and put another girl in his house, and he didn't tell me. Child, he moving people out and moving people in. Moving people out and moving people in. Okay? We had an art. Oh, I just read that. He had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. The person that became her husband. He wasn't her husband then. He was her boyfriend then. It's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me. So that's what the argument stemmed from. Child. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway, she said. As Evans claimed in a lawsuit she filed on December 20th of 2023 in the New York Supreme Court, their fight was explosive, and the former sports reporter described it as the biggest argument that we ever got into. The ESPN star has denied all of the claims. Well, he ain't the ESPN star right now, okay? He was controlling. He was domineering. He was manhandling me, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me on my knees, put his penis in my mouth, and after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed, and it was a struggle. I said no. So it was the hardest. Yeah, this was too hard, she continued, visibly shaking and upset as she recalled the alleged incident. Evans said she didn't plan to go to the authorities or report the incident to the police, but as she claimed in her 2023 lawsuit, Sharpe threatened to keep her quiet. He started coming at me saying if I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me, which he basically has, she claimed. Evans then repeated claims that she also made in her restraining order application in 2010. He started making other threats against my life. He said, he just was so worried that I would get out. I wasn't going to do anything. But when he kept calling me at work and when he kept very aggressively behaving, I could see it wasn't going to go away. And he said he was going to destroy me and he was going to kill me. He told me he was watching me and all of that. In her 2010 restraining order, Evans made the same claims and alleged Sharpe forced her to have sex with him. He repeatedly calls and threatens her life. Sharpe placed Evans under surveillance and calls saying he's watching her. Child. All right, y'all. We at 16K. No, we at 17K. On TikTok. Keep tapping. Thank you. I went to get a protective order. I'd had enough, she admitted. Evans said she would soon feel even more threatened than she was before she got the order, however. She believed that Shannon Sharpe doxed her, publicly releasing someone's... because her address got out, something she also alleged in her 2023 lawsuit. I had somebody stop by my apartment, which had a door that led right to it, It was basically on the sidewalk, and somebody came to my door and said, "Shut the fuck up, bitch," screaming at the top of their lungs. And I had my daughter right there, and I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no," she told the Sun. She also claimed she believed that there was someone lurking at her home and parked in front of her driveway when her daughter was home alone at the same time. Evans admitted she did not know if these incidents were connected at all to Sharpe. The former sports reporter said after those incidents, she decided to drop the restraining order. And she opened up about why she didn't file a report with the police after the alleged rape, claiming she was scared for her life. Atlanta had a problem with the corruption down there, and I was too scared to go to the police. When this happens, you're in a trauma mindset. You're not thinking, well, maybe I should do that. No, you fear for your life. You're traumatized. You're not thinking straight. You're having anxiety and panic attacks. And I was worried that he would get a hold of the police officer who knows what would happen then. And so it was just a decision. It was a decision a lot of rape victims make and go to not go to the police. She added that she expected to be painted by Sharpe's team as some unstable person. They always say the woman is crazy. You know, hey, I might be at this point, and everything I've dealt with, she hit out. But back then, no, definitely not crazy. And you see him paint me the way he did. First of all, I'm not somebody crawling out of the woodwork to talk about my connection with him like he insinuated in his statement. I've been out. I've been suing him. When asked for comment for this story, Sharpe's team referenced the statement his attorney made that was released last week. And here's the attorney's statement. "Thank you, Cross Country, for sending me a rose. Thank you, my love. It should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork to share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit off the alleged relationship. In many cases, those stories or accusations are nothing more than old news, fanciful exaggerations, or sometimes blatant misrepresentations of fact. This obvious purposeful design to create a fabricated narrative. That's exactly what's happening to Shannon Sharpe, and this resurrection of a case involving Michelle Evans is the perfect example. The fact that Shannon has no contact with this person for many years, and it's our understanding she's still on probation after serving 3 years in prison for trying to unalive her husband so that she could hopefully pursue a relationship with Shannon. That's a whole nother conversation. Yes, she did go to jail for trying to unalive her husband, but baby, that's a different conversation, okay? And then it just goes into the lawsuit that we've already covered. Okay. So those are her own words telling her own story. Again, guys, at this point, people can choose to believe what they want to believe, but I do believe that where there's smoke, no, she's not the same Michelle from the Instagram. No, that's not her. I feel like if her case was true, she would have a lawyer and not be representing herself. I think she really is 5150. I don't think that's true. There are a lot of different reasons why people don't have attorneys. Thank you, Grown Woman. Don't try me for gifting 5 memberships. Please, if you're here, please drop down and thank Grown Woman, and somebody let me know who got the memberships. And congratulations, thank you guys. So 15 people have been gifted memberships in this live. Thank you and welcome everybody that's a new member. Welcome. Thank you guys so much. I don't think that's true. I mean, first of all, it's public knowledge. The restraining order was filed in 2010, so there literally was. Do we keep tapping where? On TikTok? No, we hit our goal on TikTok. Thank you, Nessa. Thank you. So we know for a fact that she did file a restraining order 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't think the fact that she doesn't have a lawyer now means that is not true. I don't think that's true. People don't have lawyers for a lot of reasons. Wow, no more super chats. Why, Mims? What did I do? Wow. Mim said no more super chats from him. What did I do? If you were sending super chats, I was reading the article. Let me see. Because I wasn't reading the article, Mims. I wasn't in my chat. Thank you for the super chat. See, I didn't see it. Thank you, boo. You're right. He assaulted his baby mama, Erica, and paid her off to drop the charges. After her, it was all white meat diet for shit. I didn't see the super chat, my love. You know I wouldn't do you like that. Thank you. Thank you, boo. Yeah, I wasn't looking at the screen. I was reading the article. Okay, Eileen, Lisa Green, Love and Skill, Florida T-Bird, Sidewest. Congratulations. Thank you, man. Thank you, Don Don. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that automatically means her story is true. I just think we can't eliminate somebody just because they don't have an attorney. I don't think that. I think the thing you have to remember about attorneys taking cases, attorneys take cases that they think they could win, not necessarily because they don't think the person's telling the truth. She does have other things. She does, have a felony. She did go to jail. She does have other things in her past that would be hard for her to win the lawsuit, but that doesn't mean it's not true. And I'm not saying that it is true, but I wouldn't automatically eliminate somebody just because they don't have an attorney. That's my opinion. But I mean, everybody feel how they feel, but I just don't think that's, I just don't agree with that thought. Because people defend themselves all the time. They go pro se. And there are a lot of different reasons why people can't find attorneys to take their case. So, but anyway. Not Shannon was her dark meat on the side. Child. Okay, we're about to get off of TikTok now. Thank you to everybody that was on TikTok. We're going to do this one last story on Beyonce before we get off here. So if you want to hear the Beyonce story, get on over to YouTube. But we can ready to shut down the TikTok. If you want to follow me on YouTube, it's ReallyBTV on YouTube. Just type in ReallyBTV and I will pop right up. Thank you guys so much for being over on TikTok. We're going to go ahead and shut it down because and then we're going to do this last story on the Beyonce. Okay. Unc might have CTE if he's harming white women. He too black and low. Child. Now he might have CTE. We might find, unfortunately we can't find that out until he's no longer with us. But he may very well have it, child. He may very well have suffered from the CTE of it all. All right. So let's get into this, y'all. Let's get into this. So y'all know I have been telling y'all for months. I think it's been almost, I would have to go back. What was that first video I did on Beyonce and her residency down to the Vegas? Really should be interview. I can't because him and his followers hate me. An interview with who? An interview with who? Shannon Sharpe? Shannon Sharpe ain't doing no damn interview with me. Child. Oh, Hollywood, the former stylist. He ain't doing no interview with me either. Anyway. All right. So let me read y'all this article. Beyonce Carter Knowles was hit with a cease and desist on yesterday. Now let's read through what the cease and desist was about. And then I'm going to give y'all a little insight. Okay. Beyonce hit with a cease and desist from the Sphere owner over Cowboy Carter concert footage. Okay, let's read through it. The owner of the Las Vegas Sphere has hit Beyonce with a cease and desist letter over fan shot concert footage that shows the superstar picking up a computer-generated version of the iconic Las Vegas venue and briefly juggling it in her hands. Beyonce, many orders of magnitude larger than Sphere venue, leans over, picks up the venue, and looms over it, the letter reads, according to the New York Post, which first reported the news, leading to a significant speculation that Beyonce will end her tour with a Sphere residency. The film sequence plays during an interlude at Beyonce's newly launched Cowboy Carter tour. The Spear unsuccessfully lobbied the Texas Hold'em singer to perform at the venue in the past, sources with knowledge of the negotiations tell Billboard. Attorneys for Dolan, who was also a chairman and CEO of Madison Square Garden Entertainment Group, want Beyonce to cut the brief sequence from her 3-hour concert, which she performed for a second time at SoFi Stadium on May the 1st. The letter is addressed to Beyonce's production company, Parkwood Entertainment, on behalf of Spear Entertainment Group and authored by Kathleen McCarthy of the law firm Child. In the letter, Spalding accuses Parkwood of using imagery of the Spears likeness without permission and accuses the singer of misleading her fans. It has recently come to SCG's attention that a Cowboy Carter tour interlude video contains an unauthorized use of intellectual property. The letter reads, SCG is sure that multiple aspects of the interlude video, including other brands, clips, and music, were duly cleared by the tour with rights permission from the rights holders whose works were used in the video, as is common practice. However, SCG was never asked, and the prominent appearance and manipulation of the SCG Spear, the venue in the video, is unauthorized. SCG demands that the tour cease and desist from using the Spear venue in the video immediately. The letter continues demanding that Parkwood refrain from using the imagery on any merchandise, promotional, or marketing materials or in tour movies. Should you fail to do so, SCG reserves all right to take further action and deems appropriate without notice to you. Beyonce has never performed at the Sphere. She is set to play Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium when her Cowboy Carter tour stops in the city on July the 25th and 26th. Of course, Beyonce has not responded. Well, her people have not responded to the cease and desist to the media, not to them. So let's speculate for a moment, shall we? Let's speculate for a moment, shall we? I have told y'all, I've been telling y'all, if you new here, then you don't know. But if you not new here, then you know. Baby, I have been telling y'all for probably 6 months or more. I've been telling y'all since maybe August, September. There's a reason, Brandon. Brandon, there's a reason. I want us to think deeper. It's deeper than what is. Think deeper, Brandon. Think deeper, baby. I've been telling y'all since before Cowboy Carter that she was doing, since before the tour, that she was doing a residency in Vegas. Did I not tell y'all that? I've been telling y'all she's doing a residency in Vegas. Even before she announced this tour, I told y'all she was doing a residency in Vegas. I told y'all that because of, different things that have happened legally, y'all can read between the lines, that some things got delayed, some announcements got delayed, okay? I told you guys, now this is what I was told. Now I can't say this is true because things keep changing. But originally what I was told, because people speculated the Sphere, and I told you guys it wasn't going to be at the Sphere. I told you that the announcement was going to be made at the Sphere. And that the residency... And that, oh no, I get it, Brandon. No, I got you, boo. I'm breaking it down for you now, baby. And that the residency was going to actually be at Caesars, at the same place where Celine Dion did her residency, Adele did her residency. Remember Adele ended her residency early? Y'all remember that? Not early, but didn't extend it, I should say. Right? Now, what I was told was that the announcement, because the Sphere is not big enough, What I was told is that the Sphere is not big enough for the residency, which is why they're not doing the residency there. Caesar's Palace won, and that is where the residency allegedly is going to be. It's going to be allegedly, it's going to be announced. And then at the end of Cowboy Carter, she's going to go into the residency, right? That was part of the reason why the Las Vegas dates were the last dates to drop. Remember, the Vegas dates were the last dates to drop because they were still putting everything in place. Allegedly, this is what I was being told. The ink was still drying on all of the contracts. Now, I want y'all to walk down the Beyonce road with me for a minute. Y'all know how the Beehive is, right? What if, and I know some of y'all hate when I do the what ifs, but for the people who know me, y'all understand why I'm doing the what ifs. I'm walking y'all down the road. We're walking down the road, okay? What if the Sphere was in negotiations for the residency and they didn't get it? What if somebody else got it? This cease and desist isn't about them being, mad over a stupid video. It could be a bigger picture because it's sending a message that's not true. Because let's call a thing a thing. Y'all know how the Beehive is. The Beehive holds on to everything Beyonce does and says. And to be fair, there's very little that Beyonce does that doesn't mean something. Beyonce putting that video into that video means something. I don't think it's about them using the video without her using the video without their permission. I think it's about the message that the video is sending that they don't want out there. I honestly think that's what it is. Because let's call a thing a thing. Who wouldn't want Beyonce advertising their business for free? Why would the Sphere be mad that Beyonce is advertising the Sphere? Because the Beehive holds on to, baby, there are people that'll go to Vegas and go to the Sphere just because Beyonce was juggling the Sphere in her video. So there's a reason why the Sphere is saying, get that out of your video. We don't want to be connected. We don't want you to even give the impression that you coming down to the Sphere. It sounds like the Sphere got a little sour grapes. Yes, it does, Marnie, doesn't it? Because again, who wouldn't want, listen, we saw Telfar blew up. The Telfar brand blew up when Beyonce carried a Telfar bag and was photographed carrying a Telfar bag. And everybody was like, who is this designer? Who is this person? And all of a sudden, Telfar bags went from being a relatively small, unknown luxury brand to what they are today. Blew up overnight because everybody wanted to know what that purse was with the T on it. So who wouldn't want free advertisement from Beyonce? It's deeper than this. And I believe that it is connected to whatever negotiations went on behind the scenes as it relates to this residency, which I'm still standing by. I am still standing by Beyonce is doing a residency in Vegas. Until it don't happen, then y'all know I don't have no problem coming down here and telling y'all I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I told y'all, did I not tell y'all that Jay-Z was that I told y'all Jay-Z name was floating in them streets. Now, the lawsuit didn't end the way Diddy's situation ended, but I did tell y'all that it was trouble in paradise going on between Beyonce and Jay-Z behind the scenes because of this stuff that was going on, that Jay-Z name was wrapped up in this bullshit. I told y'all that. Now, it didn't end the way Diddy's situation ended, but I definitely told y'all it was going on before it was public. And that also had something to do with why this residency was pushed back. Because according to my sources, and that don't make it true, I'm just telling you what my sources said. According to my sources, this tour wasn't even supposed to happen. She was just supposed to do a residency. She wasn't even going to do a tour for Cowboy Carter. But because things started falling apart with the negotiations with the residency, because of this other stuff that's happening, she decided to do a tour first and give it time for things to die down and for them to slide into the residency. Because let's call a thing a thing. At the end of the day, Vegas is still a business. Vegas is still a business. And baby, they was a little nervous about this Jay-Z stuff that was behind the scenes. Because again, y'all know that Jay-Z knew about that lawsuit before we knew about that lawsuit, right? Because they got the demand letter and all that other stuff. They knew what was going on behind the scenes before we knew what was going on publicly about Jay-Z and the lawsuit. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all understand how that works, right? So she wasn't going, according to what I was told, she wasn't doing a tour at first. It was just going to be a residency, and the residency was going to be announced. The residency was going to be announced on Christmas when she performed at the halftime show. Now, I'm just telling y'all what I heard. That don't make it true. I'm just telling y'all what I heard. What I heard was the original plan was that the residency was going to be announced at the halftime show. But instead, we got a tour. And we got a Chitlin Circuit tour. What they calling it, y'all? What they calling it? But basically, it's an abbreviated tour. This isn't her normal, it's an abbreviated tour. Now listen, I'm gonna stand by what I'm getting until it's proven out to be true. Too much of what information I've gotten has proven to be true, y'all. So the cease and desist is bigger than the Spear being mad that Beyonce has their picture and didn't ask permission. It's all connected to the business. It's all connected to the business. And don't be surprised if for the people who can't make it to the tour, to the Cowboy Carter tour, you'll be all right, because I believe what I heard, that you'll be able to go down to Vegas and go on to get this exact same experience, child. She might change up a few things here, there, and tweak a few things, but baby, what y'all getting on this Cowboy Carter tour is what y'all gonna be getting down to the good Vegas residency. Now, that's what I heard. Now, I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. That's what the people told me. The day she's doing are like mini residencies. Look at Montrez. So Vegas ain't that far away. Those dates at the end of July. We already in May. So we'll see what happens at the end of the tour. Because what's the last date on the tour? Is it Vegas or Atlanta? Is Vegas the end of the tour? Or the end of the American tour? Because then isn't she doing some dates overseas? Or is it just in America? Because y'all know I didn't follow. I don't know. My Beehive people, is she doing dates overseas? Vegas is the last stop, so we'll see. Come July, at the end of July, we'll see. So anyway, y'all, that's what it is. Let me check to make sure, because sometimes my eye in the sky is listening while I'm talking, and they'll send me some information. So let me see if my eye in the sky done sent me some information. Nope. So with that being said, y'all, we about to get up out of here. Ebby is live right now. Her and the straight guy are talking Chasing Dallas. El Teddy's going live in a few minutes for Silly Saturday. And JB and myself will be doing Beyond the Gate. So I know for all of y'all that are subscribed to all three of us, that's a lot. But listen, catch the replays. The replay gang works good too. I think I saw something about overseas dates in London. Yeah, I think she is doing some dates overseas, Brandon. I think she is. I did think I heard about her doing some dates overseas. I think so. I agree. Thank you, Brandon. I think so. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in about an hour over on the other channel to talk Beyond the Gates, child. Talk to y'all later. Peace.